ACAA men's basketball matchup between the visiting Holland College Hurricanes and your Mount Allison Mounties! At this time, we ask everyone please rise, face our national flag, and remove your headgear for the playing of Canada. And now presenting tonight's starting lineup, starting with the visiting Holland College Hurricanes. Number 2, Aaron Simmons. Number 4, Zachary Dawkins. Number 9, Nick Mills. Number 13, Bryce Corliss. And number 14, D'Angelo Woodside. And now presenting the starting lineup for your Mount Allison Mounties. Number 1,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Mount Allison University for this ACAA men's basketball regular season matchup between the visiting Holland Hurricanes and the home side, the Mount Allison Mounties. I'm Tyler Vincent. Joining me is color analyst and technical director Ian Allen as we get you set for an important matchup between two teams fighting for position for the ACAA playoffs. Hurricanes win the tip. And this is Zachary Dawkins. On the side, this is Aaron Simmons. And a pull-up on the way is good from the leading scorer in the ACAA, Bryce Corliss, as he gets the visiting Hurricanes on the board first. Back the other way for the Mounties, it's Ferguson. They look to go inside to Ellison and do. Ellison finishes plus the foul. Charge the foul to number 14 of the Hurricanes. D'Angelo Woodside picks up his first. A key matchup in this one, the battle of the bigs. The 6'10 Ellison for Mount Allison. And the slightly undersized but very strong 6'6 D'Angelo Woodside for Holland College. And back the other way come the Hurricanes. A pull-up is short, rebounded by Saya. Simmons with the jumper there. And this is Sir. Pitches ahead to Monroe. A 3-ball on the way. Got it! Jonas Monroe for 3. And the Mounties have opened up a 4-point lead here in the first minute. Here is Dawkins on the drive. Gets past Monroe. Dishes to Woodside. Up strong, but blocked by Ellison. Woodside travels. Great defense there by the Mounties. They are fired up this afternoon, looking to avenge a big loss yesterday to the number 3 ranked team in the country, the St. Thomas Tommies. And back come the Mounties with Ferguson. Sir directing traffic. Wants the stagger screen from Monroe. Gets it to him. Monroe pulls it. Shot no good. Rebounded by Isaiah. Ellison on the far side. Travels off the jab step there. Possession will go back to the Hurricanes. Holland winners of 4 straight coming into this one. They were 3-6 at the break. Added a couple of transfers. They have won 4 straight and now sit at 7-6. Here is Corliss at the top. Guarded by Isaiah. Corliss gets right in the lane. Tough finish from Bryce Corliss. He's got all 4 for the Hurricanes here to start the game. Ellison up top. Gives to Monroe. Monroe uses the Ellison screen. A pull-up on the way. Rattles around. No good. Rebounded by the Hurricanes. As this is Mills. Nearly stripped. Gives to Corliss. Corliss. A pull-up on the way. It might be one of those afternoons for Bryce Corliss. He's already got 6.
Yeah, he's top guard coming out of the province of Nova Scotia a couple of years ago. Last year, he had basically missed the whole season with an injury. And it looks like he's come back in fine form. He's in great shape. He's making good decisions and good shots.
Corliss, an impact maker for this Hurricanes team as Sir ducks inside for 2 for the Mounties. 8-6 our score, 7.5 to play first quarter. Corliss pulls it. Shot no good. A heat check there from Corliss. And rebounded by Ferguson. Here is Monroe. Gives to Ellison. Ellison rips baseline. Cut off there by Woodside. Dishes to Ferguson. He finishes with the right hand to restore the 4-point Mountie lead. Here is Dawkins back the other way. One of the new faces in this Holland lineup. Guarded by Monroe. Gives to Corliss. Corliss drives. A pull-up from the free throw line is too strong. Rebounded underneath by Woodside, and he's fouled. Charged the foul to number 6 of the Mounties, Jonas Monroe. He picks up his first. Fresh 14 here for the Hurricanes. As the back screen gets a good look for Mills, but he's unable to capitalize. Here is Sir back the other way. Pushes Monroe through. They try to isolate Ellison. Ball is tipped. Comes out to Ferguson. He drives with the right hand. Strong take, and he's fouled. Going to the line for 2 is Rayshon Ferguson. Charged that foul to number 9, Nick Mills of the Hurricanes. He picks up his first, the second team foul of the quarter. Rayshon Ferguson in his second year from Nassau, Bahamas. No good on the first free throw. Was dealing with some knee issues in the fall term. Good to see him back on the floor and healthy for the Mounties. No good on both, however. And back the other way comes Dawkins. Gives to Simmons. Simmons, a 3-ball on the way. Short. Batted around. They'll say last touch by the Hurricanes, and it'll be Mount A ball. Mount A coming into this one. Losers yesterday. Prior to that, a 2-game win streak where they beat UKC and UNB St. John. As Sir uses the Ellison screen. Sir, a 3-ball on the way. Short. Rebounded by Corliss. Corliss pushing ahead. Gives to Dawkins. Dawkins working on Monroe. Behind the back dribble. Nice cut there by Mills. He tries to drop it off to Woodside, and it's taken away by Isaiah. Isaiah's going to slow it down as he didn't like the numbers back for Holland. They go into the post to Ellison. Woodside's got him one-on-one. Ellison trying to work his way into the middle. Now gives to Isaiah. And Ferguson on the drive. Strong take. No good with the left hand. Batted around. Controlled by Woodside. The crowd in front of the ball there thought it was out of bounds. No call from the referee. Possession will stay with the Hurricanes. 18 on the shot clock. 5:31 to play here in the first quarter. Mounties lead by 4. As they enter it to Woodside. Guarded by Ellison. Gives it up. Corliss, a 3-ball. Got it. Bryce Corliss has all 9 of the Hurricanes' points here midway through the first quarter. He is keeping his team in it as Sir on the drive. No good with the right hand. And back the other way, push the Hurricanes. Dawkins, a pull-up three. Got it! And foot on the line. They're going to call it a 2. The first player not named Bryce Corliss to get on the score sheet for the Hurricanes this afternoon. Ferguson, a 3. That's too strong. Batted around. And they'll say last touch by Isaiah. Possession to Holland. And we see our first substitution of the game for the Mounties as Guy Isaiah will check out and make way for Ryan Norris. Norris provided a great spark off the bench for the Mounties yesterday, Ian.
Oh, he had a great game coming off the bench. Powder had also decent minutes off the court coming off the bench, but Norris was solid at both ends of the court yesterday, which is great to see because we've been hoping to see those results from him a lot earlier in the season.
All 3 of the Ottawa natives for the Mounties. Augustin, Norris, and Powder having good afternoons off the bench for the Mount Allison. As here's Woodside in the high post. Works on Ellison. A fadeaway in the lane is short. Rebound controlled underneath by Simmons, and he's fouled. Great job there by the undersized Simmons. Grabbing that rebound in a sea of white. And charge the foul to Ryan Norris, who just checked into the game. He picks up his first. Simmons good on the first. One of 3 players in this game from Nassau. Some Bahamas content. Good on both, and Hurricanes lead by 3. Here is Sir back the other way. Goes to Ellison. Hand off to Monroe. Here's Sir in front of the Mountie bench. Drives baseline. Strong take and finishes on the reverse with the left hand. Great take by Eddie Sir.
Yeah, excellent choice to go underneath rather than come up on the near side because he had a oversized defender right behind him.
Woodside might have sent that one back. Can't finish on the other end either. And controlled by Ellison. They pitch ahead to Powder. Powder on the drive with the right hand. Bumped. And we'll get a foul on the ground here as it's called on Nick Mills. He picks up his second. So decision time for head coach Tim Kendrick. Doesn't look like he's going to his bench just yet. He's going to let Mills play with the 2 fouls. Here is Powder. Ellison. They go to Sir. Inside to Monroe. A fadeaway. Got it. Nice little turn and hook from Jonas Monroe to get himself on the board. And a turnover here from the Hurricanes.
Line violation. Ball came back to the player who threw the ball in before he had made contact with the floor. On the court.
So a mental lapse there from the visitors. Gives the ball back to the Mounties. 14 on the shot clock as they get another baseline out of bounds opportunity. They hit Norris on the stagger. Pump fake. Pull up on the way. Got it. Ryan Norris playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's got the Mounties up by 3. Great defense there by Sir, and he strips him. Sir turns it back over, however. And a block on Norris as he's picked up 2 quick fouls. And Coach Chapman has a similar decision to make, and he will go to his bench and bring Guy Isaiah back into the game, and Keith Rowan getting ready to check in as well for the first time for the Mounties. As here is Simmons. Or, excuse me, that's Dawkins at the top with the ball, guarded by Monroe. Uses the Woodside screen and the rescreen along to, got it. Zach Dawkins, 4-2. Transfer from Okanagan College in the Pac West. As here's Norris in the corner. Thought about the 3, gets his defender in the air. Floater is no good. Rebounded by Corliss. And back the other way come the Hurricanes. A great pass ahead. And the finish by Simmons. That was Tyrell Casimir with the pass. Leading Simmons into an easy 2. Monroe back the other way is stripped. Ball finds Norris. Now inside to Ellison. They all collapse on him. Kick out Norris for 3. No good. Offensive rebound, no, taken away by Woodside. And another pitch ahead. And a missed layup there from Aaron Simmons. Nearly had another easy 2. A frantic pace being played right now. Both teams missing shots under the rim. And we finally have a stoppage in play. As Tyrell Casimir picks up his first foul, and it'll send Jonas Monroe to the free throw line for the Mounties for the first time this afternoon. Monroe good on the first. Third-year forward for the Mounties from Moncton. Second is on the way, and good. Mounties restore their slim lead. Ahead by one here, just over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Here's Dawkins. Dawkins up top, looking for a Woodside screen, guarded by Monroe. Good job to go over. Woodside, a pull-up, rolls around and good. Great play there from D'Angelo Woodside on the short roll to knock in the jumper from the free throw line. And here is Rowan back the other way. Gives to Ellison. Isaiah drives with the left hand, puts up a right-handed floater, no good. Ellison there to collect, and he turns it over. And up ahead is Corliss, and he will, no! Touched every part of the rim and fell out for Corliss. And the Mounties control it. Pushing with pace again. Monroe drives baseline, strong take, and finish with the right hand. Monroe's got the last four for the Mounties. And a handful of lead changes here in this first quarter as Simmons throws it away. Him and Casimir not on the same page there, as possession will go back to Mount A. Holland's second worst in the conference in turnovers per game. That'll be something that the Mounties will look to take advantage of. As Rowan goes to Monroe off the elevator screen. Powder tries to look inside to Isaiah and it's stolen. Corliss pushes back the other way. Guarded by Powder. Corliss had the ball stripped by Powder, but last touch by the Mounties. Coach Kendrick of the Hurricanes not happy with the excessive dribbling, it looks like, as here's Casimir. Casimir drives with the right hand. Strong take, no good. Rebounded by Monroe. Pitches it ahead to Ellison, and another turnover from the Mounties as Simmons will come back the other way with speed. Gives it up. A three ball on the way from Dawkins is good. Zachary Dawkins for three. And Isaiah back the other way, spins in the lane. Looking for help, finds it in Powder. And picked off. Another turnover for the Mounties. Simmons to the rim, finishes with the left hand. And a quick 5-0 run to restore the Hurricane lead. It may be their biggest lead of the afternoon. We've had quite a back-and-forth affair so far. Hurricanes by 4. 5 on the game clock for Rowan. He drives, and a moving screen called on Tim Ellison. Ellison picks up his first. And the Hurricanes will take the last shot of the quarter with 2.9 left on the clock. Dawkins to throw in, finds Corliss a deep three. Hit front rim, but nothing else. And we have reached the end of the first quarter here in Sackville. It's the visiting Hurricanes leading by 4. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter. And welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University. It's the visiting Holland Hurricanes currently with a 4-point lead as we approach the start of the second quarter.
Yeah,
Holland 7-6 coming into this one as we get a score update from Ian.
We've got Crandall Chargers are playing down at University King's College in Halifax. At halftime, Crandall is now up 57-40. It was tight, an early start, like Kings was staying with them, but then Crandall sort of has pulled away from them, sort of like we were expecting to see. But that gives them the 17-point lead at halftime, which is probably where it's going to range from there a bit further.
Crandall with a big win on the road yesterday against Mount St. Vincent. UKC, I believe, still looking for their first win of the season as we're back underway here. Rowan gives to Isaiah. Rowan, a 3-ball on the way. No good. Batted around, controlled by Tukilonga, and finishes with the right hand. Instant impact from Tony Tukilonga. Cuts the Hurricane lead to 2 as Dawkins drives on Rowan. And a good slip there from Simmons. Can't finish underneath with the left hand, but he got bumped. And he's going to go to the free throw line for 2. As Gabe Powder picks up his first foul of the afternoon. Aaron Simmons heads back to the free throw line, the first-year guard. A lot of trust being shown by Coach Kendrick in the minutes that he's giving the first-year guard. And good on 1 of 2. Here is Rowan back the other way. Ferguson, Powder, a 3 from the 45 is no good. Batted around, controlled by Simmons. Pushes it ahead to Casimir. Casimir on the drive. Stopped there by Tukilonga. Dawkins finds a cutting Simmons. It's taken away by Ferguson. Ferguson gives to Isaiah. Strong take and reverse finish with the right hand. Cuts the deficit to 1. Here is Dawkins. Behind the back dribble, strong take. A nice feed. Finish wasn't there, but the putback is good from Simmons. And all started by a great drive from Zachary Dawkins. Here is Isaiah on the far side. He's going to go Barkley on Corliss. Gets himself into the paint. A lot of contact, no call. Controlled by the Hurricanes. This is Simmons on the far side. He's going to try his luck. In and out. Rebounded by Ferguson. Here is Keith Rowan. Gives to Isaiah. The handoff back to Rowan. They go pistol action here. Rowan gets himself into the paint. Stripped and stolen away by Simmons. Pitches it ahead to Corliss. Throws it back and no finish at the rim. Now a finish at the rim from Dawkins. Just padding his stats with an offensive rebound there. Here is Tukilonga for the Mounties. Using the Ferguson screen. They go under on it. They give it to Ferguson now. Ferguson drives with the right hand. Strong take, no good. And rebound controlled by the Hurricanes. Pitches it ahead to Simmons. No mistake this time with the left hand. And we have a timeout as Coach Chapman wants to talk it over with his group. A quick run here by the Hurricanes has extended the lead to 7, Ian.
Yeah, no, that game is just Chapman just wants to make sure the game doesn't get out of hand because he's just got to rein it back in a little bit. Just the tempo at this pace is going to favor, even though Mount A does like a fast game, it's going to favor Hurricanes a little bit. So Coach Chapman just needs to get them to a little bit more under control, which will give them better shots, and they should start dropping then.
Turnovers, the story of the afternoon so far for the Mounties. We don't have the official numbers, but points off turnovers is definitely a big reason why the Hurricanes have opened up a 7-point lead. A lot of strips on one end leading to easy buckets at the rim at the other end for Holland. Mounties have to do a better job of protecting the basketball, as I'm sure Coach Chapman is telling them right now. As the huddles break and we get ready for action again. It'll be Ferguson to inbound on the far side for the Mounties. 7-point advantage, 7:41 to play here in the second quarter. Here is Sir. Sir hands off to Isaiah. They go up top to Ellison. Isaiah on the drive. Kicks out. Monroe thought about the three. Now he'll take the pull-up. It's too strong. Rebounded by Dawkins. Dawkins throws it ahead. This is McKinnon. McKinnon gives it up. 3-ball on the way. In and out from Parsons. Rebounded by Ferguson. Isaiah on the far side. Gives to Sir. Isaiah goes to Ferguson in the short corner. They look for the cutting Monroe. Can't find him. Ferguson kicks out. Ellison thought about the three. Now puts it on the deck. Ellison trapped underneath. Finds Monroe and hits the three. A great find there from a difficult angle for Tim Ellison. And Jonas Monroe finishes it off with three. Strong take here with the right hand. Gets Monroe up in the air, but he traveled. That is Johnson. Calls for the walk there. Holland doing a good job of attacking off the catch here in this first half. Forcing the Mountie defense to rotate. As Sir comes back the other way. Uses the Ellison screen. Sir gets himself in the lane. Gets two defenders to jump. Gives it back to Ferguson. Shot is no good. Ellison underneath with the offensive rebound and the finish to cut the deficit to 2. This is Dawkins at the top. Calls up Woodside for the screen. Monroe runs into it. Woodside. McKinnon on the far side. Working on Sir. McKinnon dishes it to Woodside. A pump fake. A tough shot is short. And a good defensive possession there for the Mounties. A good stop as they look to tie or take the lead on this possession as we go under the 6-minute to play mark in the second quarter. It's Sir being guarded heavily. Gives to Monroe. A jumper on the way. No good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Gives back to Monroe. Gets his defender in the air. Strong take. But he lost the ball. And possession will go back to Holland. As we have a timeout on the floor, as Coach Kendrick wants to talk it over with his group, and we will be back in 60 seconds. And we're back. As possession will be with the Hurricanes here out of the timeout. It's Dawkins working on Monroe. Dawkins gives it up to McKinnon in the corner. They go inside to Mills. Dawkins to Mills. Nice little two-man game. Shot no good. Controlled by Woodside. And he can't finish underneath either, but a foul. And Woodside will head to the free throw line for the Mounties as the big man Tim Ellison picks up his second. And with 5:22 to play in the quarter, Coach Chapman going to go to his bench and bring Ryan Norris back into the game. Norris also on 2 fouls, however. And Woodside no good on the first free throw. Woodside, a fourth-year center from Nassau. Good on the second. And here comes Sir back the other way for the Mounties, guarded by Johnson. Sir looking to use the Ferguson screen, and does. And good active hands there from Johnson. I believe possession will stay with Mount A. It does. 11 on the shot clock. Got to go the length of the court here. Johnson causing havoc for the Mountie guards with his impressive defense. Here is Sir. Gives to Norris. 5 on the shot clock. He drives. Strip. Got to get a shot off. Monroe. It's short. Controlled by Woodside. But a good job by the Mounties of getting back in transition and getting balanced. Here is Dawkins on the far side. Uses the Woodside screen. Monroe sticks with him. They go inside to Woodside here. And a great cut. Extra pass. 3-ball from the corner off the side of the backboard. And a good pitch ahead here to Isaiah. Look out. And he finishes with the right hand. I thought he was going to go up for the jam. Decides to go with the soft touch instead. It all counts the same as Johnson for 3 on the other end is no good. Falls off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. As we see Bryce Corliss checking back into the game for Holland, the leading scorer currently in the ACAA at just a shade under 22 a night. Here is Sir. Uses the high ball screen from Ferguson. Tried to get the yo-yo action with Monroe. Now cuts back door. A good cut from Monroe. Count the basket and the foul. And the Mounties have regained the lead here. A great cut from Jonas Monroe and a strong finish with the right hand. He'll have a chance for one more to extend the Mount A lead to 2. Monroe good on the free throw. Plenty of lead changes so far in this one. It's been a joy to watch so far as Sir doing some good work defensively there for the Mounties. Holland gets it in the hands of Corliss. Corliss, a pull-up on the way short. Rebounded by Isaiah as he pushes with pace. No numbers. He'll slow it down and give to Monroe. Monroe just tries to throw it up. No good. Ferguson underneath and a foul. And we have a travel first from the official on the far side.
Yeah, the official in the baseline, what he was seeing was the contact sort of chest up, like sort of where the ball was and up near the shoulders. The official out behind saw the space between, saw the feet move. It definitely was a travel.
It definitely
good call.
was.
It's good thing to see they got it right. Got the call right.
And Woodside misses underneath there. Good call from the referees on the other end. Kick out for 3. This is Johnson. It's too strong. And Simmons doing a great job to get the offensive rebound. Misses the shot. Bodies flying everywhere. No one can control the basketball. We've got Monroe on the ground for the Mounties, helped up by Sir. And I believe that is Aaron Simmons on the ground for the Hurricanes. We hope he's all right. Coach Kendrick not happy with the officials. He wanted a foul on Simmons. Didn't get a call. Simmons will check out of the game. I believe he may have got poked in the eye there. And possession will be with the Hurricanes. 14 on the shot clock. And McKinnon to throw in. Gives to Dawkins. Uses the Woodside screen. Dawkins. 3-ball on the way. Is good. Zachary Dawkins restores the Holland lead. Just over 3 to play here in the first half. Hurricanes 35, Mounties 34. Isaiah gives to Monroe. Wide open for 3. Shots no good. Rebounded by Sir underneath. He goes up and finishes with the right hand. Sir for 2 as we have yet another lead change and a foul. On the ground charge to Eddie Sir. It's just his first. And the first action we'll see today for James Mullet of the Hurricanes. Dawkins up top. Gives to Corliss. Good defense there by Isaiah. Nearly stripped them, and they do get the strip. Showtime, and the jam for Isaiah. And a little bit of energy now given to the Mountie crowd and the Mountie players. This is Mullet, guarded by Monroe. Kicks it out to Corliss. A 3-ball in front of his own bench is short. Rebound on the far side by Casimir. Mullet drives on Monroe, gets in the lane, dishes it out to Dawkins. A floater, no good. Rebounded by Woodside. Gives to Casimir. Casimir guarded well by Norris. And a great pass, but no finish underneath there from Dawkins. Possession will stay with the Hurricanes, however. And Coach Kendrick of the Hurricanes wants to talk it over with his group, and we will take a break also. We will see you in 60 seconds. And welcome back. It is Mounties 38, Hurricanes 35 here. 1:58 to play in the first half. A back and forth affair so far. Lead changing hands probably close to 10 times, I would say, so far here in this first half. Both teams have had pretty good runs, pretty good defensive stints. We've had a very even matchup so far. 12 seconds on the shot clock here for the Hurricanes. They get it into Casimir. Casimir drives into the paint. Ball is deflected out of bounds. And we'll do it again with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hurricanes on the baseline. Corliss, the inbounder here. Look for him to potentially get the ball back. And they go to Mullet. Mullet, a fadeaway is short. And controlled underneath by Woodside. A foul. It's on the ground. And it's going to be charged to Ryan Norris, number 14 of the Mounties, as he picks up his third. Not what Coach Chapman wants to see from his first-year forward, as he brings Keith Rowan to the table to replace Norris. And 14 on the shot clock now for the Hurricanes. It's Woodside underneath. Might have got away with the travel. Gives it to Corliss. And blocked by Isaiah. Foul is called. Isaiah just runs down to the other end of the court to avoid making eye contact with the official. He thought it was clean. Referee did not see the same. And Bryce Corliss will head to the free throw line for 2. Corliss, as previously mentioned, the leading scorer in the ACAA, as I jinx him on the first free throw. Fourth-year guard, a New Brunswick native. Somewhat of a homecoming, but from the other side of the province. Here is Sir. Looking to use the Ferguson ball screen. He does. Sir, pull up on the way. That's his shot. The analytics might tell you it's a bad shot. It's a good shot for Eddie Sir. That is his game. Mounties lead by 4. Dawkins on the drive. No good. Rebounded underneath by Sir. He pitches it ahead to Isaiah. Isaiah takes it all the way. Blocked by Casimir. Strong defense there by the Hurricanes. They pitch ahead to Corliss. Underneath, he finishes and one. Charge the foul to Keith Rowan. And Corliss will head to the line for one more free throw. Corliss good on the free throw. Just over a minute to play here in the first half. Mounties 40, Hurricanes 39. A better offensive output from the Mounties this afternoon here in the first half as Sura gets himself in the lane. A tough shot off the front rim and out. Rebounded by Woodside, who gives to Dawkins. Dawkins drives middle, stripped, and off his leg and out of bounds. Possession will go back to the Mounties. And Coach Chapman decides he wants to talk it over with his group. Might as well use the timeout instead of losing it. And with 48.7 seconds left and the Mounties ahead by 1, we will take a break and see you in 60 seconds. Welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium as we have a score update from our color analyst, Ian.
Works better if I bring myself into the mix on this, doesn't it? With 4 minutes left in the third quarter, Crandall Chargers are now up 20 points, 67-47 over UKC Blue Devils.
Crandall looking for back-to-back wins on the road in Halifax this weekend. Kings looking for their first victory of the year. We've had a good one here this afternoon if you're just joining us. A back-and-forth game so far sees the Mounties ahead by 1 with under a minute to play in the first half. Mounties, a team that currently average just over 69 points a game. They're already at 40. They played pretty well offensively so far. Here is Monroe looking to add to that total. Too strong. Rebounded by Casimir, pitches it ahead to Simmons, and a foul. As that'll be charged to Eddie Sir, I believe. I don't think many of the players on the floor heard the whistle, and they just kept hooping. Charged foul to Eddie Sir. He picks up his second. And Aaron Simmons will head back to the free throw line for the Hurricanes. Left-handed shot, no good. As Isaiah runs to the table looking to check in. Simmons good on the second. And we got a tie ball game here. 33.7 chance to go 2 for 1 if you go very quickly if you're the Mounties. My guess is they'll opt to slow it down, especially with the ball pressure that Holland is showing right now. So it looks like it'll be one possession for each team here to close the half. Augustin up top with it, guarded by Casimir. It's Rowan. Uses the Ferguson screen. Rowan for 3. A high arcing shot is no good. Controlled by Ferguson. Kicks it out. Monroe, good shot fake. A step back. No good. And out of bounds. Who's it off? They're going to say it's off Rowan. And the Hurricanes will have just over 8 seconds here to try and get a basket and head into the half ahead. It is Dawkins driving on Rowan, kicks it out. Casimir, 1 second on the shot clock, throws it up. It is no good. And a back and forth first half. ends exactly where we started. It is Mount Allison 40, Holland 40. We will see you in 15 minutes. Thank you for joining us here on ACAA TV. Welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University as we get set for the second half between the Holland Hurricanes and the Mount Allison Mounties. We are currently deadlocked at 40 after 20 minutes of play. A strong offensive output from both sides in the first half. Holland winners of 4 straight, looking to make that 5 in a row. And the Mounties looking to bounce back after their loss yesterday to Stu, but a win today would be 3 of 4, and certainly trending in the right direction if they are able to take care of business here in the final 20 minutes of this one. Bryce Corliss leading the way for the Hurricanes. Jonas Monroe leading the way for the Mounties. As both teams return their starting 5 to the floor to get us underway here in the second half. It will be Mountie ball to kick us off. Here is Sir, a horns look here. Uses the Ellison screen. He rolls. They try to go inside to him. It's tipped and stolen away by Mills. Here is Simmons, goes to Dawkins on the other side. Strong take, no good with the right hand. Woodside there to clean it up. And the Hurricanes with the first bucket of the second half. They lead by 2. Sir goes to Isaiah. Isaiah back to Sir. Now they go inside to Ellison. He's going to work on Corliss one-on-one. Blocked. Ellison not going up strong enough there. Taken away by Corliss. Now it's Corliss in front of the Mountie bench. A 3-ball on the way. No good. And controlled by the Mounties with Sir. Sir uses the Ellison screen. They try to get the switch. Woodside steals it. Pitches it ahead to Dawkins. He attacks. Can't finish with the right hand, but he got fouled by Ellison on the way up. And he's going to go to the line for 2. Some foul, won't call it trouble, but some fouls to note for the Mounties. Tim Ellison currently has 3. Ryan Norris currently has 3. And Eddie Sir has 2 for the Mounties. And Dawkins good on 1 of 2. Here is Sir. Gives to Ferguson. They go handoff with Isaiah. Isaiah to Ferguson. Ferguson drives. Strong take with the right hand and finish. Rayshon Ferguson with a nice start to the second half as they dish off to Woodside on the inside. And Woodside finishes and lets the Mountie bench hear about it as well. Hurricanes up by 3. Sir to Isaiah. Isaiah on the drive with the right hand. Got bumped by Corliss. Shots no good. Controlled by Simmons. Gives to Dawkins. Dawkins a pull-up 3. Got it. Zachary Dawkins for 3. Extending the Hurricane lead. Here's Ellison underneath. That's no good. Rebounded by Corliss. And I believe Coach Chapman's going to be forced into an early timeout if the Hurricanes score here. Corliss drives with the right, stripped and stolen. And here comes Isaiah back the other way and lays it in with the right hand. Here is Dawkins using the rub screen by Woodside. They give to Simmons. Simmons. Nice little pocket pass to Woodside, and he finishes with the right hand. Woodside, I believe, is up to 6 points here to start the second half. And Sir uses the screen from Ellison, gives to Isaiah. 3-ball in front of the Hurricane bench, missed everything, and controlled on the far side by Simmons. Simmons goes inside to Mills, and Mills finishes with the right hand. And now Coach Chapman will be forced into taking the timeout. And the Hurricane bench is up and loving it as they have opened up an 8-point lead here to start the second half.
Yeah, they've stepped in. It's it's basically that high-paced game. They're doing basically really quick transition game down. Big difference right here in the first couple of minutes is D'Angelo Woodside. It's fairly quiet. He hit a number of decent shots and some tough ones in the first half, but had a number of bounce out on him. But he's sort of got his feel underneath that hoop again, and that's going to be some trouble.
Woodside asserting his strength here in the first 3 minutes of this second half.
Yeah,
As Ian mentioned, a faster pace favors the Hurricanes, so Coach Chapman likely telling his guys to slow it down and be selective with their shots.
Yeah, a little bit there. Thing is, like this with where I was going to go with Woodside. The thing on that one is he is only 6'6", but he's solid and strong, both upper and lower body strength. So he can basically play with anybody up to 6'10", 6'11", and can overpower them physically inside sometimes. And Ellison's not a bad matchup but he's not as strong. He's got enough height that it can work, but he's got to be tight on his game for defense for that to work.
Mounties have to up the physicality if they're going to stop Woodside here in the second half. He's been a load to handle here in the first 3 minutes. But it's the Mounties that get a chance to respond here with Sir. Guarded by Dawkins, uses the Ferguson screen. They go under. Sir drives in the paint, shots short, gets his own rebound, goes back up, and he's fouled. And we'll head to the free throw line, I believe. But
no, I think
they're going to call it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes, they're calling it on the ground. And charge the foul to Zachary Dawkins. He picks up his first. And so the Mounties will have a baseline out of bounds with a fresh shot clock in the half court of 14. As we get ready to see Tim Ellison check back into the game for the Mounties. They go outside to Powder. Ferguson at the top of the key. Goes to Isaiah. Isaiah, nice move to get middle and finish on Corliss. Gaio Isaiah, 2 on the board for the newest member of the Mounties. Here is Woodside. Gives to Simmons. A jumper, no good with the left hand. Mills underneath. Good offensive rebound, and he's going to get 2 shots at the free throw line as Eddie Sir will pick up his 3rd foul. Something to watch there for the Mounties. Sir, Norris, and Ellison all with 3 as Powder will check out. And our first chance to talk about Nick Mills at the free throw line. A second-year forward from Cornwall, Prince Edward Island. Deciding to stay home and play his college basketball close to where he grew up. And he's 1 for 2 from the free throw line there. Extends the Hurricane lead to 7 as we see Keith Rowan check into the game, replacing Eddie Sir. And it'll be Saya to bring the ball up the floor for the Mounties. Here's Isaiah. Gives to Monroe. Monroe drives with the left hand. Strong take, and he's going to the free throw line. Jonas Monroe having a solid afternoon so far for the Mounties.
Foul's called on Woodside.
And Woodside picks up his 2nd foul. Monroe hot and cold in the first semester. Good on the first there. Really sort of coming into his own in this winter term for the Mounties as they get ready to make a push not just for the conference championship, but also the national championship that we will be hosting here in Sackville in March. As Monroe is good on both free throws to cut the deficit to 5. Here is Simmons guarded by Rowan, a battle of first-year guards. They give to Dawkins. Dawkins up top. They get the switch. Dawkins, a 3-ball on the way. It's off front rim. Batted around. Controlled underneath by Mills. He goes up. No good. And now controlled by the Mounties with Monroe. He gives off to Isaiah. Ellison thought about the 3. Now goes to Monroe. Drives. A floater in the lane. It's short. batted around, controlled by Dawkins. Dawkins pushing 3-on-1. It's Simmons finishing with the left hand. Aaron Simmons for 2. Here is Rowan. Rowan on the drive. Gives to Isaiah. Rowan's going to try his luck from 3. It's off the back iron and controlled by Woodside. Here is Simmons. Nice little behind the back move on Monroe. And he got Monroe to reach in as Jonas Monroe will pick up his second foul. Mounties' third foul of the quarter with 5:14. Need to be aware of that. Just 2 away from the penalty. Still more than half the quarter to play as Corliss will inbound in front of the Mountie bench. Ryan Norris checking back into the game for the Mounties. They go to Woodside. 9 on the shot clock. Got to go. He's going to post up Ellison from the 3-point line. Finds Mills underneath. That shot's no good and controlled by Norris. Here comes Rowan back the other way. Pitches it ahead to Isaiah. They find Norris on the weak side. A 3-ball. In and out. Rebounded by Mills. Dawkins throws it ahead to Woodside. It's a 2-on-1. And Woodside gets past Norris and finishes. Largest lead of the game for the Hurricanes now. But Tim Ellison will try and cut the deficit as he was fouled by, I believe that was Nick Mills that's going to be charged for the foul. It's his 3rd of the afternoon, so the Hurricanes currently with their largest lead of the game at 9. Ellison looking to make good on the second and cut the deficit to 8. And it's successful. As we see Owen Parsons, the 6'9" forward, checking in. So a 2-big lineup here for Holland. Trying to out-muscle the Mounties right now. And a strong take and a foul from the official on the far side. Saw the contact from Rowan.
Yeah, it looked like the official was a little too far away to make that call, but he's the one that had the position. He could see the spacing between the 2 players because they're really tight on really tight to the official on the baseline.
And a good call there on the far side. Simmons, no good on the first. As previously mentioned, first-year guard from Nassau, Bahamas. And he goes 0 for 2, much to the delight of the Mountie crowd on the far side. As Ellison drives into the paint and finishes with the right hand. Lead back down to 6 for Holland. It's Dawkins up top working on Monroe. Drives with the right hand, a good take, and he's going to the free throw line. The Mountie bench can't believe it. And the former ACAA Defensive Player of the Year, Gaio Isaiah, is charged with his 2nd foul of this game. And Zachary Dawkins will head to the free throw line for Holland. His first trip at the line today. He's no good on the first. 2nd-year guard from Edmonton, Alberta, and a transfer from Okanagan College. One of 2 players that Holland brought in at the break. As here is Rowan back the other way. Norris gives to Rowan. A 3-ball from the corner. Got it. Keith Rowan with a big-time shot there from the corner. Cuts the deficit to 4. Playing pretty good defense here, too. He's got to get back. And Simmons hits the bank shot. Rowan doing a pretty good job in the backcourt there. Dawkins was able to get past him and find Simmons for the easy 2. Here is Monroe. Gives to Ellison. Ellison on the keeper. Strong drive. Finishes with the right hand plus the foul. Tim Ellison responding to the strong start from the Holland big man Woodside. He's got the Mounties right back in this game with the and one. As Owen Parsons picks up his first foul of the afternoon. Ellison at the line for one, looking to make it a one-possession game. Free throws no good, but controlled by Ryan Norris. Great hustle there from Norris. He gets to Isaiah. 8 on the shot clock. Rowan's got to go. Calls up Ellison. Uses the screen. 3 on the shot clock. Rowan's got to put it up. Gives it to Isaiah and a shot clock violation. Some miscommunication there from the Mountie offense. I don't think they knew that the clock was as low as it was. And an unforced error there and a turnover for Mount Allison. Gives the ball back to the Hurricanes. 3:10 to play here in the third quarter. Hurricanes 60, Mounties 56 here on ACAA TV. As is Simmons with the ball up top. Gives to Casimir. Uses the screen. They try to go inside, and it's stolen by Ellison. Isaiah will bring it up on the far side. Goes to Ellison. Norris, wide open three. Too strong, and controlled by Simmons. Here is Dawkins. Dawkins traveled. Too many steps there for Dawkins. Pretty good defense there by Jonas Monroe, forcing the turnover. So both teams trading turnovers in their back-to-back possessions. And the lead stays at 4 for Holland. Here is Eddie Sir. And a triple screen there for Norris. Norris drives with the left hand, tries to finish with the right, no good. Ellison had his hands on it for a moment, but it's controlled by Corliss. Corliss guarded by Norris. Drives with the left hand, a pull-up in the lane, off the back iron. Batted around and controlled by Ellison. Here come the Mounties now with Sir. Rowan, a 3-ball in front of the bench. No good, in and out. Monroe with the offensive rebound, and he's going to the free throw line. Charge the foul to Bryce Corliss. He picks up his first foul of the afternoon. Mounties doing a good job getting second chance opportunities on the offensive glass. We saw Monroe there with the offensive rebound. Ryan Norris a couple of possessions ago getting a second opportunity for the Mounties. Mounties are doing the right things you need to do when you're trailing. Getting second chance opportunities and limiting the Hurricanes to one shot at the other end, as Monroe is no good on the first free throw. Second is good from Monroe. And just like that, we have a one-possession game with just under 2 minutes to play. We were tied at 40 at halftime. The score now 60-57 in favor of the Hurricanes. As we get ready to see Tony Tuquilonga check back into the game for the Mounties. Right now it's Dawkins on the drive, however, gets Rowan up in the air. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. And possession goes back to Mount A. Here is Sir. Sir looking for the passing angle to Ellison. He gets it to him. They try to skip it weak side. It was deflected, but into the hands of Rowan. Rowan, 8 on the shot clock. Got to make something happen. They go into the post to Ellison. He's working on Mills. A fadeaway is good. Tim Ellison cuts the lead to 1. Hurricanes led by as many as 9 in the quarter. The Mounties have done well to respond. It's Casimir up top. Dawkins working on Rowan. A floater with the right hand. Off back iron. Gets his own rebound. Dawkins back up. No good with the right hand. Controlled by Ellison. And a chance for the Mounties to take the lead. Here's Norris. Thought about the 3. Puts it on the floor. Now gives to Sir. They go inside to Ellison. Good seal and finish. Tim Ellison doing a good job sealing Mills under the basket. And finishes with the right hand for 2. It's a 1-point Mountie advantage. Under a minute to play. They go inside to Corliss. No good. Second opportunity's no good. And a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Hurricanes. Tuquilonga checking back into the game, replacing Jonas Monroe. 9 on the shot clock here for the Hurricanes as Corliss will throw in. They go to Mills. 8 on the shot clock. Got to make something happen. Tries to drive on Ellison. He's cut off. It's Casimir up top. A 3-ball on the way. It's short. Missed everything. And out of bounds. They initially point the direction of Holland, but it is a shot clock violation. And possession will go to the Mounties. Shot clock turned off. They lead by 1. Hoping to extend that lead going into the fourth quarter here on the final possession. It'll be Sir to bring it across the timeline for the Mounties. 15 seconds and counting. Shot clock turned off. Mounties ahead by 1. Sir looking to go into the post to Ellison and does. 4 on the game clock. Ellison attacks with the right hand and 1. Tim Ellison with a big bucket. He has put his stamp on this third quarter. A quarter in which the Hurricanes took a 9-point advantage after being tied at halftime. It's a 13-point swing for the Mounties as they will head to the final frame ahead by 3. Strong defense by the Mounties to keep the Hurricanes at bay. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the fourth and final frame. Welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University. It's the home Mounties with a 3-point lead over the Holland Hurricanes heading into the fourth quarter. If you're just joining us, another important win for the Mountie women this afternoon as they took their game over Holland. A wire-to-wire win for the Mounties in that one. And we've had a great game here in the men's game. Plenty of lead changes. No team is led by double digits. Holland had the biggest lead of the game earlier in the third quarter with 9. And the Mounties now lead by 3 to start the fourth quarter. Here is Norris. Goes to Sir. Sir is going to try his luck for 3. He got it. Eddie Sir with a big-time bucket for the Mounties. And it's the largest lead of the game for the home side. They're ahead by 6. Dawkins on the drive, working on Tukilonga. Dawkins puts up a tough floater with the right hand. And we've got a technical foul on head coach of the Mounties, Steve Chapman. And Bryce Corliss will shoot the technical free throw. Corliss good on that attempt to cut the Mountie lead to 5. .14 on the shot clock for the Hurricanes, and a miscommunication. Simmons, Mountie's got lucky there that he missed it. He was wide open. Here it comes Sir back the other way. They send Tukilonga through. Rowan, a 3 from the far side is no good. Nice little floppy action there from the Mounties. I believe that's the first game I've seen that from them. New play from Coach Chapman. As Corliss, no good. Rebounded by Ellison. And Sir to bring it across the timeline. As Jonas Monroe heads to the table, getting ready to check back in for the Mounties. Here's Ellison. Gives to Rowan. Rowan on the drive. Nice little Euro step and a finish with the right hand. Mountie lead back up to 7. Here is Dawkins. Dawkins on the drive. Nearly stripped by Tukilonga. Ball's on the floor. Who wants it more? And a jump ball. Dawkins not happy. He thought that he had full possession of the basketball. Possession is going to go back to the Mounties on the jump ball. Woodside having a conversation with the referee as well. And we have a timeout called by Coach Kendrick of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, this one's starting to look like it's getting a little more physical. And they're hopefully not going to get out of control. The officials are going to have to be very careful about that because these are, again, two teams similar as last night. They both have no fear. They'll go and play as physical as they think they have to make things work. And it's a really fine line between play getting too far out of control and players getting hurt. And that's hopefully that's what the conversation they're having over on the far side of the court is right now while the teams are in the timeout. We've seen this, like, Corliss started out hot at the start of the game, got really good. They got them up to a good push right there. D'Angelo had the start of the third quarter, but that back half of that third quarter, basically Tim Ellison just took over. And the rest of the guys going into the fourth, sort of starting into the fourth, the rest of the guys are picking up on that energy that Ellison brought in at the tail end of the tail end of the third quarter.
Hurricanes definitely picking up the intensity now as they trail by 7. Hurricanes winners of 4 straight, looking to build on that win streak as we get ever closer to the ACAA championships that will be hosted at Holland College the first weekend of March. We know one team from the ACAA that will be heading to nationals. That's the home Mount Allison Mounties. And the winner of that important ACAA conference tournament will also be joining us here in Sackville on the third weekend of March. Not to get ahead of ourselves, however, we still got 8.5 minutes to play here with the Mounties ahead by 7, and it's Sir on the drive. Norris, all the time in the world, no good on the 3. Ellison controlled it underneath for a moment, but was stripped. And it's Dawkins who pushes ahead to Woodside. It's a 2-on-1, and Woodside, no good. And Sir stepped on the line trying to get that rebound for the Mounties. Shot clock will reset to 14 for Holland. Dawkins, the inbound man, guarded by Rowan. I go flex screen action here for Corliss. He's got a little jumper in the short corner that's no good. Woodside and Ellison battling for it. Monroe flies in to take it. Here is Sir. Sir, a pull-up 3 in transition is off the front rim. Rebounded by Mills, given to Simmons. And Sir steals it right back. No numbers here for the Mounties. Rowan wisely brings the ball back out and will load the offense here for the Mounties. Here's Monroe, sends Norris through. They're trying to isolate Ellison on that side. Ellison, Monroe for 3, no good. And controlled by the Hurricanes with Dawkins. Gaio Isaiah getting ready to check back into the game for the Mounties. Dawkins guarded by Rowan. The first-year guard doing a pretty good defensive work there. Here is Corliss up top. 8 on the shot clock. Gotta go. Tries to put it up. And a travel. Good minutes there from Keith Rowan, the first-year guard from Ottawa, as Isaiah will check back into the game. The traveling violation gives the ball back to the Mounties. Just over 7 to play and a lead by 7. Here is Eddie Sir. Gives to Isaiah. Isaiah drives hard with the right hand and finishes. Gaio Isaiah, largest lead of the game for the Mounties. 70-61 in favor of the home side. Here is Corliss looking to use the screen. And a blocking foul called on Isaiah.
Yeah, he thought he had position, but it was still a little too much lateral movement at that point.
Sideline out of bounds opportunity here for the Hurricanes. Simmons up top. Gives to Dawkins, guarded by Isaiah. 8 on the shot clock. He's got to go. Woodside comes up to set the high ball screen. Ellison hedges it. And we got a charge call. Eddie Sir doing a great job standing in there, sacrificing his body for his team. Taking the charge from the much larger Woodside. Getting possession back for his team. And a timeout on the floor. The Hurricanes use their second of the half. Coach Kendrick wanting to talk it over with his group. And we will be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back. As we come out of the timeout, the Mounties ahead by 9 here. It's their biggest lead of the afternoon. They have done a much, much, much better job defensively here in this second half, holding the Hurricanes to just 21 points in the last 14 and a half minutes. 13 and a half minutes, I guess I should say. And we got 6.5 to play here with the ball in Eddie Sir's hands for the Mounties. And gives to Isaiah. Monroe. Zone look here from the Hurricanes. Looking to trap the ball. They get it to Monroe in the corner for 3. Got it! Jonas Monroe. Big time bucket for the Mounties. Largest lead of the game. Here comes Dawkins back the other way, guarded by Isaiah. Dawkins. They get the switch. Ellison guarding him. Simmons. They go inside to Mills. Monroe does a good job walling up, and a turnover. Possession back to the Mounties. Under 6 to play. Mounties 73, Hurricanes 61. Sir. Isaiah. They go inside to Ellison. Norris. Isaiah. Ball is humming here for the Mounties. Tipped and stolen away by the Hurricanes with Mills. This is Dawkins. They go ahead to Woodside. Great job by Norris to deflect that out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Hurricanes, but Norris saved an easy 2 from D'Angelo Woodside. And they're going to make the Hurricanes work for it here as we see Romery Johnson checking back into the game for the Hurricanes, replacing Nick Mills. And Corliss, a three off the inbound. No good. Woodside controlled it for a second, tried to throw it off Isaiah, but it stayed in play. Here is Sir. Gives ahead to Ellison. Ellison thought about it. Now goes back outside to Isaiah. Drives with the left hand. And great job by Simmons jumping that passing lane. And Johnson finishes on the other end. Lead back down to 10 for the Mounties. Here is Sir. Isaiah. Norris tries the corner three. Too strong. Rebounded by Corliss. Corliss will bring it over the timeline for Holland. And stripped and stolen. Here is Monroe up ahead. He's got one man to beat. And shot's no good. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up with a left and finishes. Lead restored to 12. Here is Dawkins. Dawkins guarded by Isaiah. They get it to Corliss in the corner. A three in front of the Mountie bench. Is controlled by Woodside on the far side. Woodside working on Ellison and a foul. And that's a noteworthy one for the Mounties as Ellison picks up his fourth. So he's got to be careful here with just a shade over 4 minutes to play here in this one. D'Angelo Woodside heading to the line, shooting two. Good on the first. A little bit of side spin on that free throw. If it works, it works. Second is up and good. As Coach Chapman makes the decision to protect Ellison with the 4 fouls and bring Rayshon Ferguson back into the ball game. Here is Norris. Monroe. Norris. Sir. Guarded by Johnson. Johnson harassing Sir on the perimeter. Sir gets into the lane. A tough shot is no good. Rebounded by Corliss and a foul. And another noteworthy foul as Eddie Sir picks up his fourth. He will check out of the game with 3:44 to go. You got to think that will be the last we see of Sir and Ellison. But Coach Chapman with a 10-point lead, hoping to save them for the dying moments of the game to try and close it out. Here is Dawkins on the drive. Strong take with a right hand and finish. Back to single digits, 3.5 to play. Here is Isaiah on the far side. Gives to Rowan. Rowan uses a Ferguson ball screen and gets a switch. Here is Norris. Driving inside, shots no good. Ball's batted around, controlled by Woodside. It's a 2-on-1. Drops it off to Simmons, and he finishes. A quick run will bring Tim Ellison right back to that scorer's table. The Hurricanes trailing by only 6. Here is Ferguson at the top of the key. Gives to Isaiah. Monroe. 8 on the shot clock. Got to make something happen. Monroe drives on Woodside. A lot of physicality. Norris, 2 on the shot clock. Puts it up with the right hand. It's no good. Batted around. Controlled by Corliss. And Johnson pitches it ahead to Dawkins. He's going to finish with the right hand. Coach Chapman opting not to use a timeout here to stop this Hurricane run. It's a 6-0 run that's brought the Hurricanes to within 4. And Isaiah carried the basketball. Possession will go back to Holland, and a huge momentum shift here in the last 90 seconds of this one. It's a 6-0 run for the Hurricanes. It's a 2-possession ball game. We've got 2:19 to play, and the Mounties lead by 4. Holland will get the chance to cut into that lead here. It's Dawkins at the top, guarded by Monroe. Ellison back into the game. Sir at the table getting ready to check back in for Mount Allison, as well as Isaiah picks it off. Tries to throw it off Corliss. It finds the hands of Monroe. No numbers. And the Mounties will slow it down. Here is Isaiah. Gives to Rowan. Isaiah. Floater from the free throw line. In and out. Batted around. Controlled by the Hurricanes. Here is Simmons. Simmons over and back. Stepped on the line. And possession will go back to the Mounties. As Eddie Sir will check in for Rayshad Ferguson. As head coach Tim Kendrick of the Holland Hurricanes will call his final timeout of the afternoon here with 1:39 to play. It'll be Mountie ball coming in, 14 on the shot clock in the half court. We will be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back. We've got 1:39 to play here at the Performance Gymnasium on the campus of Mount Allison University as the home Mounties lead by 4. An out-of-town score update for you. The only other game in the conference today has finished, and it has seen the Crandall Chargers defeat the University of King's College Blue Devils by 19.
Yeah, 93-74. Sort of, I think, going into that game, we were looking at probably a 15 to 20 point spread would be what we were looking at. Kings played strong at the start of it, so Crandall poured it on sort of late in the second quarter and through the third and fourth.
The Crandall offense strong in that one, getting to 93. Bit of a lower scoring affair here for the Mounties, but they are above their season average of 69 as they've already reached the 75 mark. Here is Monroe, a horns look from the Mounties. They try to go back screen for Ellison, get it to him, Ellison, and one! What a great set drawn up by Coach Chapman there. Getting Ellison the easy 2. And a chance to make it a 3-point play as the big man for the Hurricanes, Woodside, picks up his 4th foul. So something to watch here in the final 90 seconds of this one, as both strong centers for the two respective teams have 4 fouls and are 1 away from disqualification. Here is Dawkins in the lane, a lot of contact, and Simmons cleans it up. 77-73. We're approaching the 1 minute to play mark here in Sackville. It's Sir with the ball up top. They go to Monroe. They're going to try and get the back screen again for Ellison. Nothing doing this time. Monroe's got to do it himself. Strong take with the right hand. It's no good. Ball's batted around. There's a foul. Who's it on? It is on Woodside, I believe. If it is, it's his 5th. And no, we're actually going to charge the foul to Romery Johnson, number 11. So it'll be a baseline out of bounds, 14 on the shot clock, 1 minute to play, and now under a minute to play. And a nice action there. Gets Isaiah the easy 2. Gaio Isaiah finishes. 6-point Mountie lead, under a minute to go. Johnson gives to Simmons. Sir is there guarding him, uses the Woodside screen. And ball is lost out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Mounties. Eddie Sir with some great defense there on the first-year guard, poking it away. And the Mounties will get possession back here with 44 seconds to play, ahead by 6. Here's Ellison. Hurricanes opting not to foul just yet. It's Sir up top as the Mounties go back into the Horns look. Isaiah rips baseline. They give to Ellison. Working on Woodside. A jumper. No good. And controlled by the Hurricanes with Dawkins. Dawkins gives it up to Simmons. Corliss in the corner now. Johnson. Dawkins. Nice extra pass. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Monroe. And that's going to do it. The Mounties will bring it across the timeline. No, we are going to have a foul. Johnson gives a foul on Sir. And for the Mounties, barring something extraordinary, it'll be their 3rd win in 4 games. And a very important one here this afternoon against a very formidable opponent in the Holland Hurricanes. This was a fun one to call, Ian. I must admit. The Mounties come away with an important home win over the Hurricanes by a score of 79-73. Ian, your thoughts?
It's good, aggressive basketball game, both sides. Almost got a little out of control, a couple of points, but the players seemed to pull themselves back into it and focused on basketball rather than contact. So the officials didn't have to lean on and interrupt the flow of play. Got a little I saw Holland got a little frantic the last 2 or 3 minutes, rather than actually coming down and working the ball. They still had time to. That might have made a bit of a difference, but the pace of the game had been moving. That makes it understand. Like their brain still wants to pick up the pace from there, just to try and get back into it on the scoreboard.
If you're with us the whole way, you witnessed a good one. 2 talented, confident teams. The 4-game win streak of the Holland Hurricanes has come to a close here at Mount Allison. Strong play inside from both Tim Ellison of the Mounties and D'Angelo Woodside of the Hurricanes. And we have reached the conclusion of this one. We hope to see you again next time on ACAA TV. For Ian Allen, I've been Tyler Vinson. Have a great night.